So now this is rounding day 2. Same concept as yesterday applies. You'll have to find a certain place, and you'll always look to the right to make a decision. Sometimes the number in the place we're looking at will stay the same. Sometimes it'll go up 1. We go up 1 if we look to the right and see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, anything 5 or more. We stay the same if you see anything 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Today's only difference is the numbers are all decimal numbers. So we're going to start off just rounding to the same places as yesterday, but then we'll work our way into the decimal places themselves. So if you want to find the tens place, same rule as yesterday, but you have to start from the decimal, not from the end of the number. So the decimal is here. We're going to go over. This would be the tens place. This, we look to the right to see if we're 5 or more, which we are. So 7 needs to go up 1. Make zeros on the right like yesterday, but you don't have to do zeros beyond the decimal point. You don't have to write 0.000000. It's not necessarily wrong if you wrote 0.00000, but that's a lot of writing you don't really want or need to do. The beginning of the number, we're still continuing to just copy. If we go hundredths place is the 6. So the 6, we have a choice, keep it or go up. And we are going to go up because its friend to the right is big enough to force us up. Zeros at the end, but only as far as the decimal point. In the beginning, we're just going to copy. Thousandths place. We look here, this is the thousandths place, is always to the left of the comma. 5 is going to go up because this number is big enough to push us up. Zeros to the right, but only as far as the decimal point. Copy the left. 10,000ths is the 4. We go up because this is big enough to push us up. Zeros all the way until the decimal point. Copy the beginning. And then I didn't do the 100,000ths because the paper doesn't. So the paper is going to go tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and stop. Yesterday's paper went that extra thing, I think, yeah, it did, to the 100,000s. That's not a thing today. If we go into the tenths place, for the tenths place, we're going to need to include our decimals. The tenths place is the first one after the decimal. So this is the tenths place. Anything you round to the tenths place is going to have a number needing to go there. So 6, we can either keep it 6 or go up. We're going to go up because the 5 is big enough to push the 6 up. Don't do any zeros after the decimal. I don't need any zeros here. It wouldn't be wrong, I guess, to write 1,000,000 zeros, but why bother? We just need to make sure we copy the beginning of the number. If I go to the hundredths place, here's the hundredths place. So I'm going to keep the 5 a 5 because the 4 isn't big enough to change us, so keep it. Don't need 1,000,000 zeros over here. We just need to copy the beginning of the number. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, decimal, and 6. All that stuff to the left of my finger, we're going to copy all of that stuff. The thousandths place is here. So the decision maker is always to the right. 3 is not big enough to change us. So the 4 stays a 4. And all of this beginning just change is going to copy. If that's enough, go to it. If not, I'll do another go round by making up another number. Clear this out. So if I want to go to the tens place, the 6 is in that place. We decide based on the 2. 2 says stay the same, because 2 is not big enough to change us. 1, 0 when we round to the tens. I don't need to write the decimal or anything beyond it, but I do need to copy the beginning part. Hundredths place is the 3. 6 pushes us up to a 4. Zeros to the right. Copy to the left. Thousandths place is the 7. 3 tells us to stay the same. zeros to the right, copy the left. 10,000 is where the 4 is, that goes up to 5 because 7 is big enough to send it up. Copy the left, 0 out the right. For the tenths, hundredths, and thousandths, we're going to need to have decimals in those. So tenths place is the 5. 8 is big, tells us to go up. And we copy everything from the left. Don't need zeros after the decimal position. Hundredths is where the 8 is. 9's pretty big, so this goes up. Go up with the 8. Don't need zeros in the decimal ones, but we do need to copy the beginning of the number up to that position, including the 5 that's been there all the time. Thousandths, we go to here, and the 9s are a little awkward like we talked about yesterday. 9, we need to go up because 7 says so. So 9 goes up to 10, carry a 1, makes that a 9. Copy the 5, copy the 1, 4, 7, 3, 6, 2, and then this would be a dispute among people, and there's no real right answer to this. There are some books that will insist, if you're told to do the thousandths place, that you fill 3 places. The tenths fills 1 position, hundredths fills 2, thousandths fill 3. There are some books and people that will insist, if you're told to do the thousandths, you have to fill the thousandths even with the 0. My personal opinion, and that's the opinion of some other people too, is that these zeros at the end never really matter. So if you want to wipe them, go ahead and erase them. If you want to keep them, there are books and people that agree with that. There are books and people that agree with that. So I don't care. You do what you want with that. If there's zeros at the end, because I like 9s round up to 10s and you have zeros kind of thing at the very end of decimal numbers, if you like it, keep it. If you don't, ditch it. It really doesn't matter to me. But that is rounding sheet number 2 is the job for today. Send me emails if you have any questions.